on the reels, like, dude, I'm old now. I'm tired. I don't have that young
You're
man.
not old.
I don't have
You're
that
not
young
old.
man energy. You know, I'm just entering into a new stage of life where I'm feeling like I would rather own the product instead of slaving away to serve the person that has the product.
Well, that's a very nice segue, because something else that we wanted to talk about was the fact that you are the product. Not in a sense of you're selling your soul or you're selling yourself, but the idea, the concept of who DJ Sean P is a product, right? And we're gonna quote him, you know, Jay-Z said it so well himself. He's like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Brandon Stewart, and this is the Seize the Day podcast. If you are a creative and you're grinding it out in your 9 to 5, but you're trying to figure out your next moves to how to make some money on the side, how to grow your side hustle into your next big thing, this is the podcast that you've been waiting for. And I am joined by one of my great friends, DJ Sean P.
Bro, I've been waiting for it. I have been waiting for this.
The Emperor has been waiting for you.
Yes. Luke, you are not my father. I don't know anything about Star Wars, so I just know that.
Okay, so yeah, this isn't that podcast, so we're good. All right.
Bro, so last time you hooked me up.
Great. How did I hook you up?
Leveraging attention. You taught me a phrase about something that I didn't have a phrase to before. And
Awesome.
For simple people like me, that's a reminder. You know what I'm saying? Now I have a little name for it. And I'm like, okay, leveraging attention. This is a name for something that I was hearing about and I know is true. And
Attention's the name of the game. That's why everything matters. It's like why, you know, posting reels, posting TikToks or YouTube videos. It's not just about the end the product itself.
yeah.
Posting the video. It's not really about that. Like yes, but that's the medium for the attention that it gets you.
Yeah.
So it gets kind of meta in there, but we know that if we post something good, then we're going to get more eyes on us.
Yeah.
And that's why we're able to leverage the videos and the attention to get work.
I want to, because of my little empathy strength finder thing, right?
Okay.
I just wanted to say, like, it took me so long to care about, like, I guess the word we're using as attention, it feels like a naughty word for me. Mm-hmm. And it's taken me so long in my life to now go, dude, attention is actually useful and good.
It's currency.
And so I just want anybody who's listening, maybe just to go, like, if you don't care about attention and you like to do things and make stuff, like I always just made stuff and I share it with my homies. All my homies, I send you guys texts. It's like before I post something, if I don't post most things, I send texts to my friends and say, look at the thingy I made.
Yeah, we all do that. Yeah, absolutely.
But like, that is my number one. Like that's innately where I want to go. And so like, maybe that makes me like a small circle person. I don't know. I don't have any words for that. I don't know. So, but if you are the person that was like, I like to make stuff, I like to share things, but there's something about internet, media, data, like that's the same thing. And it takes a long time maybe to get to caring about that.
Yeah, so it's education level as far as marketing is concerned, right? It's a lack of knowledge. So like sending stuff to your homies, like we're always going to do that because that's what we do.
Okay.
Like that's the most important, like, yes, that we want is the homies, right?
Totally.
And that's great. And we need that to get feedback and just to like.
I want a Patreon with just 5 of my friends. $500 a month from I want to steal money from my family's pocket. No, nobody wants to do that. No, right? Nobody wants to do that. That's my point.
Yeah, totally.
You get tired of doing that.
Yeah. So, and then, but if you want to be a professional, like if you say, oh, dude, I'm going to take this videography thing like for real. Like I'm going to go get that client. I'm going to I'm going to figure out a way to have a company pay me $5,000 a month.
Yes.
You have to care about attention. You have to care about your stats because you have to understand how the machine works. Right. And so
that's real. Yes.
And the people that do it, the people that operate at that level, everybody knows. Everybody has different metrics that are important to them, but everybody knows what's important to them. Without getting like too deep or too nerdy, there is this, I don't know who said it, so forgive me, but it is said that numbers is the language of business. So if you want to grow your business, you have to understand your numbers, and that's apply that in any area that you need to apply it.
Right.
But yeah, so whether it's just how many accounts you reached or how many shares you had, and bring it all into context, right? So what we're getting into today, so like talking about products and collaborations, right? And so let's say you have your DJ Sean P YouTube channel, it's popping off for long form, but then you're cutting that up in the TikToks and all these things are going well. And then like who makes the dopest headphones?
Oh, word. I don't have a dopest headphones, but there is a niche company called III.
Okay.
I believe they're Swedish or German, AI. And they make like boutique DJ headphones, and they're all matte black and they're rubberized and you could take them all apart and put them all back. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Okay. So let's just say that you wanted to start the conversation with them about, doing a collab with them, right? Because so your numbers matter because they're like, okay, like we like you, you make cool content, but why do we care?
Yeah.
How many people are you going to be able to put our product in front of?
Right.
And you can say, well, as a matter of fact,
right.
And then drop the list. Like my videos, have a 75% completion rate. My videos get hundreds of types of shares, right?
No, that's not a diss to you.
Yeah, right.
It's the antithesis of me. You know what I mean? But I get it.
Yeah, we're told not to, or we innately think that like we're too good to care, or that's not art.
See, that you're getting closer to it,
right?
Yeah?
But this is what the thing we're talking about of like, how do you make your art and still do marketing, and how do you make your marketing art, and how do you turn your art into a business? This whole back and forth thing. And so being aware of your numbers so you can go and have, it's not that you have to prove, it's not that you have to prove your art's good enough.
Thank you. That's what we need to hear.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yes.
But if you want the checks from the bean counters who are going to sign off, you have to understand what their language is.
Or if you want to fix your car.
Yeah.
Or if you want to put your daughter through dance.
Yeah.
Because this is a whole different beast. I'm coming from turning my art into a service product. So from that, all the years, the 15 years plus of service that I've done, it finally clicked with me about why the digital content needs to convert.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was like, I'm tired of doing the service. Like, I feel very elementary. But I'm like, on the reels, like, dude, I'm old now. I'm tired. I don't have that young
You're
man.
not old.
I don't have
You're
that
not
young
old.
man energy. I'm just entering into a new stage of life where I'm feeling like I would rather own the product instead of slaving away to serve the person that has the product.
Well, that's a very nice segue because something else that we wanted to talk about was the fact that you are the product. Right?
Dang,
Not
shout out to Snowda product.
Not in a sense of you're selling your soul or you're selling yourself, but the idea, the concept of who DJ Sean P is a product, right? And we're going to quote him, but Jay-Z said it so well himself. He's like, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Right? Yeah. Right. But there's so much truth in that because and it all goes back. We're going to keep tying it back to the attention game.
Okay.
Because you're putting yourself out there, your aesthetic, your viewpoint, your creativity.
Yes.
Right. And there's more than enough people that are attracted to that are down to support you and your art and your collabs and whatever you want to put out.
And at this stage, like, I'm tying a knot with realizing like the culture I experience and the experience that I have been a part of have value. they have value not only to my peers, but more value to the newer generations that have not experienced these things. So like the things that I experienced, I had said this in the last episode, maybe just they're relevant now because they're not so accessible.
Yeah.
People want to know about this. You know, the aesthetic is back. The romance of 20 years ago or 25 years ago, 30 years ago is popping.
It's wild because like my kids in school, they have like Spirit Week next week. Okay. And one of the days is Decade Day. And so they have the 90s.
Hey, you know what's so funny about
we went to Target, my wife and I, and bought our kids like 90s clothes. And it's like
went into the closet, bro.
And like they're wearing like baggy jeans with holes and like flannels and stuff. And like I'm on Google looking at like 90s ad spreads, and I'm like,
dude, did you ever get the Urban Outfitters catalog in the mail?
Yes, dude. I remember like 7th grade, like jonesing, like circling which Airwalks I was gonna buy next.
Ooh, you don't even know about those tennis ball Airwalks. I didn't do those.
Or like special,
like
special skate shoes.
Yes, simple. That's what it was.
The other S.
Yeah, but the Airwalk, the classic Airwalks are ill.
Bro, I loved Airwalks.
Bro, everybody had them.
It was such a pure time.
Okay, stop. Okay. Keep talking to me about Jay-Z, businessman, because I feel like I'm on to you. I have been thinking about this. I'm in this stage. I'm mulling things over, and I felt like I had some things click with me.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what do I want?
Okay.
And that's the same thing I'm thinking I want to provide.
Yeah, so let's think hypothetically.
Okay.
Right? So if we had a whiteboard, and you know the whole thing was just to figure out like what you wanted if you were going to put a product out there.
Yeah.
Like have you thought about this?
Yes,
like
yes.
What's that product that you feel confident in, that you're like, oh, like you wouldn't feel ashamed of?
Yeah.
You know, you're not pushing a coffee mug because you can get one on Printify and slap your logo on it.
Yeah, no.
Right? That doesn't make sense for you,
Not for
right?
me,
We're not.
no.
This isn't the librarian podcast.
This ain't, homie.
Right? So what is it? What's the product?
Yeah.
Or what's one of them that DJ Sean P would want to do?
Fentanyl. Dude, it's selling in the streets, bro. It is hot, bro. Just a joke. Sorry. Can I joke?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, dude, I love vinyl records.
Okay.
And so the things that I need for my vinyl records, like just like organizational things, I want to make those, but high end. Like I have a studio, I have an area where all my vinyl lives, and I've built all of that furniture. And I continue to need things. So I share records on my content. I talk about records, and I think it would just be a great tie-in to make vinyl record products to go along with your collection. And I want to market. I've done a lot of things, and I've sold things to people with lots of money, and I've sold stuff to people with little money. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like early on I learned real quick, I was like, I don't want to sell things to people that aren't willing to buy. So I'm thinking about higher end products.
Yeah.
I don't want to really compete with Amazon, although I imagine selling in that space. I want to make higher end wooden crates.
Yeah, so for that, right, you're on the right path, because to sell the higher end thing, right, the cool thing about selling high end is that you don't have to sell as many to make the same amount.
And so I learned that
more
as a DJ.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
But it's what I learned as a DJ.
Right.
Like I stopped DJing for people under a certain price.
Yeah.
And I set myself in a different tier.
So I think that for part of what you're doing, like when you do your deep dives into the behind the scenes on hip hop tracks, right? You're doing a lot of things. You're showing your love. There's so many things going on. You're leveraging the attention that surrounds a song that everybody already knows and holds dear, and so they're already predisposed to give you 20 more seconds, right? Because on social, than they would on something else that they weren't already familiar with. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see what this cat has to say about this.
Word up.
Right? So, And because you do things so well, so artistically, you're deepening, I think, or increasing the level of your brand, your aesthetic,
right,
your potential, your all that stuff is going to go in and like at a high level, like build in the value of when you present a high-end product for vinyl, like cataloging crates. Or just high-end crates, vinyl storage.
And
people are going to go, oh, dude, Sean, he goes deep on this stuff. He cares about his product.
Yeah, bro.
And so, okay.
That's the illest crates. That's the best crates you can buy because I care a lot about storing my records.
So this is what he says is the best. This is what I think is the best. And, you know, I wasn't ready with the metric today or the stat, but there is like an industry stat that says that for brand collaboration or sponsor, when a brand gets behind, let's say like a podcaster, there's the conversion rate jumps. There's like a 30% lift in conversion rate because someone they already know is selling the product. So you know, the brand that you've built up for yourself, that trust conveys in that product versus just getting hit with a cold ad on Facebook and Instagram.
Or like just like a white label product.
Versus just drop shipping something off of Alibaba. So
which is maybe not a bad idea.
Well, it just depends. Like you have the ability, right, as you're growing.
Right.
And because it's attention's a two-way street. It's not just, hey, I'm going to leverage these crates, the company that makes these, but they want to sell more crate, you know, for their vinyl. And so it's a win for them too. It's like, hey, this guy's popping off in our space. And this is why they say the riches are in the niches, because you don't have to sell a product to the masses. You just have to have something that like 10,000 people want, and it'll pay a couple $100. I don't know how much it would go for, right?
Right.
But maybe a couple $100. Right. Depending on what the size of their collection, because they have a massive investment in the vinyl. So so you invest to protect what's important to you.
Totally.
Right. So
that's what I'm hoping for.
So, and that's why understanding your numbers will benefit you in cutting that deal, because you can say, it's not just like, hey, I'm into records. Well, congratulations. There's a whole bunch of other 40-year-old dudes out there that buy fake vintage tees at Target.
Yeah, right. Totally.
That do the same thing. It's like, well, it's like,
I'm getting in that game too, though.
I'm not mad at you. But you can show them, it's like, this is how many subscribers I have. This is how many people I have on my email list. So these are, and this is the open rate. So like,
who am I showing that to?
Well, if you
sponsors?
It's a sponsor.
Yeah,
so you get into conversation with that, right? You get in those conversations with those people because it has to make business sense for them.
Totally.
And so that's just why you have to know your numbers, right? And again, it's a separation of our emotions from our numbers, because the numbers don't validate the art, but the numbers open the doors so we can get paid for the art. So it's a balance, and you just have to like wrap your head around it a little bit.
And when you're as dumb as me, like it takes a long time for you to realize, like, I'm tired of rapping to nobody, or I'm right, like I'm tired of DJing in front. Right. It's like you want to sell records eventually, or you want to do something else.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
you want people to hear it.
Yeah, it's cool to like, you know, record a track or make something.
It's so romantic to be the poor artist.
When you're young, it is.
Right.
But when you get old, you find out like, what a lie. Like there's nothing romantic about being poor. Like who the hell says this?
Not.
There's nothing like, we're family men. Like, hey, sorry kids, you know, your dad's a poor ass rapper. Like,
oh gosh, dude. Like, it's the worst.
Yeah, like that doesn't work. And
it doesn't.
So you have to figure out how to do all these things and live in this world, and you are not compromising yourself or your art or anything by playing the game. And so that's what we're trying to help people understand, of like, because now, like the way that TikTok rewards merit and artistic videos and people that spend time on that. It doesn't matter what you do. Are you into it? Then make a dope version of that thing that you're into, and your people will find you. And if you want to take it to the next level, which is what we're doing here, we're showing people how to take things that they're hobbying with,
right,
how to take it to the next level, how to start formulating the thought patterns to go, okay, well, if I wanted to take maybe I make patches or I make pins.
Right.
How would I take this to the next level? Like, how do I get, just not a million, not 100 steps, but just the next step? How do I go from, selling 100 to selling 200 pin of a design or whatever, right? And so understanding the numbers, understanding, the platforms where your things are going to, and then because you're able to understand the numbers, you're able to understand like just what kind of conversations you're having.
Yeah.
And someone, did you have a thought?
Well, it's just like, I feel like honestly, this is all pretty basic. It's like, if anybody wants to make money, like that's why we're talking about the artist into the influencer, right?
Yeah.
It's like anybody wants to make money. This is not a thought. This is like, there's a million trillion ways to make money. Let's make that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the artist, it's like, okay, how I've lived enough and I want to grow with my audience and monetarily. It's a little scary to take that first step. But once my mind started opening up to things, I felt like there was a million avenues. Like I said before, like I want to do it all. Like everything sounds exciting to me because it's all new. I like new things. And so, but what I'm hearing from you, I talked about the high end. You talked about the niches. The riches are in the niches. All I heard about was snitches get stitches. I didn't know about the riches in the niches. But what you're saying is like, stay close to the aesthetic. Stay close to what's core to me, because that's where I'm going to benefit the most. There's a thing, I want to make one more comment. There's a thing like strength. I mentioned Strength Finder. Strength Finder is all about where you have the most propensity to grow. Let's find that and let's focus on that. And so is that kind of what I'm hearing you say? Because there's a million different ways to do something. Yeah,
find out what you're good at and like whatever your creative thing is, and then just go all in on that thing that you can. The thing that you can do that you would be doing if if money is no object, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
Well, you'd be doing that thing. So do that.
I'd be broke though. That's why I'm talking to you.
Well, yeah, don't quit your 9 to 5.
Nah, I do. I am the guy. I'm the guy. We quit the 9 to 5. We just do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people tend to pay us to do stuff. It doesn't mean that I'm a good businessman.
Yeah. Yeah. but you're brave and you have the guts just to go in and
no stomach for working for the man.
Yeah, that's why who we are is because of that. But we can still educate ourselves, right? And that's what we've done. We've gone into these marketplaces and battled it out and slugged it out.
Yeah, dude.
And figured this stuff out. And so then we're bringing all this stuff back to help other people that are thinking about making that jump. Hey, get some education, and not saying you have to do exactly what we did.
Totally.
But you can start implementing these things.
Yeah.
And so one of the other guys, so there's someone that's like really blown up lately, who's done this, and they're doing some interviews. But the really cool thing of like the guy with like a brand who does collabs and then leverages other brands.
Okay.
But have you ever heard of this guy named like Salehi Bembury?
Yeah, you had mentioned him to me, and I looked him up and was like in awe.
Yeah. So Salehi, he massively blew up last year with his Crocs collaboration. Anyway.
Sorry, I suck at this.
He like nobody wanted to wear Crocs. And then all of a sudden the lockdowns happened.
Yeah.
And then Crocs just like blew up the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, it's for sure.
And then but Crocs realized that they can make their thing cool by finding the right people to collab with.
Yeah.
So now like Crocs has done like 3 like Post Malone collabs, and you get special gibbets or charms to put on there and all these crazy things. And like country music people have Crocs collabs. Justin Bieber.
You're losing me.
But every Croc has been essentially the same thing. Here's the mold, here's some holes and a strap, right?
Yes.
And they're mad comfortable.
Okay.
But then Salehi's design language, he took his 2 thumbprints and blended them together, and that's how like he just kind of creates these patterns. Right? And that's like his pattern.
Yeah.
And so for the first time ever, essentially, like he did a collab, and then Crocs updated their silhouette with his patterns,
Yeah.
his creating ridges,
Yeah.
and they just blew up. And the hype train was just massive, and everything sells out in like 5 minutes or less or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so, but Salehi, he was he got a job. Well, he worked with Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So like him and like Jerry Lorenzo and Virgil were all working with Kanye at the same time. Like I think he said like season 3 or 4
Yeah.
of Yeezy. And he helped design some of those like military boots that they were making back then. And then this is also like combining in with the power of just trying to network and sending a message out because you don't know how far it's going to go.
Yeah.
So he got fired from Yeezy, and he talks about just like the whole struggle of like, it was good to get fired because it forced him to level up and refocus and double down on his strengths and go back at it. So he said that he sent off an email or like a message on LinkedIn of all places. So this is the power of LinkedIn. Like don't sleep on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Because he saw that Versace was hiring.
Let's go.
So he sends a message to someone at Versace that he actually knew, and then a few weeks later they get back to him.
Dang. Migos did a song about Versace, right?
Yeah. So don't ask me to quote it.
Go ahead.
And then, but he ends up being the men's shoe designer at Versace for a while, and then, but that term ended. But then that led into the Crocs deal.
Dang.
But it's just a way of like, it's just a really like modern example of what it can look like of being in your own lane.
Yeah.
Right. His whole thing has always been. He even worked.
And he's an artist.
And he's a complete artist.
I think that's what he's such an artist.
Yeah, he did. But he wasn't afraid of taking like low-level jobs because he knew the experience he would get. Like he grinded it out at Payless Shoes.
That was his first one. That blew my mind.
Yeah, he's like, well, okay, it's not Nike, but Payless, like they turn out a lot of shoe styles really quick. So he learned the process of designing shoes really quick,
Incredible.
taking a product to market, and so it was invaluable for him in his journey. And so, but now he's in a place where he's done the work and he's proved himself. And so now he gets to have more fun because now he has the attention, and the other brands want to leverage his attention to
He's
push.
authentic.
Yeah, he's super authentic. Like when you hear him talk, like there's nothing like he's like spitting facts.
To your point, he's definitely leveraged his artistic talent and grinded it out in this corporate way. You know what I mean? And now he's his own thing. He can go to any brand and collab.
The big thing, and not to end my rant, but something that like our friend Hector's done. When you leverage attention and you get a win, you have to move fast to leverage that attention into the next thing.
Yeah.
Before the steam runs out, because everybody wants to work with the hot thing, but nobody wants to work with like the thing from a couple years ago because you're not relevant anymore.
So like we're talking about products. I get the experience of developing and putting out a product. Dude, it's not always going to be cool to have vinyl. Like, how long am I going to be able to, even if my idea is successful, it won't be successful for the most length. That skill of learning how to develop products, thinking about developing products, putting them out on the market, that's a whole nother like game.
Yeah.
That I'm excited about doing because that's always going to be a thing. People always need things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Or you can get some kind of cool deal with like Urban Outfitters.
Okay, there you go.
Because
it's real. No,
because
real.
the cool kids are always there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Cool. Dorm rooms or whatnot. Like you can sign some like massive deal with them.
Totally.
License your thing and then take that chunk of change and put it into something else. And
Bro,
then
that Joanna model.
Yeah. So it's just like, how do you navigate your landscape?
Dude,
and
this
what
is
you
incredible.
want to do. Cool, man. All right. So thank you for watching. This has been our episode on products and attention. If you like what you've been hearing, you like the conversation, please subscribe, like this episode, comment below. Let me know what you think. We're putting this stuff out more and more. We're building a community of marketers and entrepreneurs, and we love to connect with you and hear from you. So until next time, peace.
You're the best. You're the best, bro.
Man.
Video production and creative design by View Creative LLC. Start your own video podcast today by visiting createyourview.com. For more personalized coaching and digital marketing, contact Brandon Stewart at celladoragency.com.